What up, guys, and welcome back to another TI King 210 NRL podcast. Today, we're going to have a look at the lineups of State of Origin, NRL, and I just want to say I do apologize, guys, for being away for the last two podcasts we missed. I do apologize. Last week I was sick. The other week I completely missed the time and I forgot about it because I was hanging out. Lolly was here, and so I do apologize. But let's get into the podcast today. But before we start this podcast, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, TI King 210, and please subscribe to our podcast YouTube channel, TI King 210 NRL podcast. Just trying to see, make sure it's on. Yep, I've got my mic here. All right, let's get into it. Let's have a look at those lineups, eh? Yeah. All right. So we're going to start off with having a look at State of Origin lineups for next week. State of Origin. All right. So let's have a look at New South Wales lineup. James Tedesco and new faces in the Origin side for game for the Blues is no Brian To'o. He got dropped for Jack Bostock. Bradman Best got dropped. Katoni Staggs got dropped for Bradman Best. Stephen Crichton is back. Mark Nitawaze's in. Mitchell keeps his spot. Mitchell Moses, Nathan Cleary, Payne Haas, Reece Robson, Mitch Barnett, Hudson Young. Liam Martin is also in the Origin. Got Zayo. Bench for the Blues is Cameron Murray, Ali Fanoa Blake. Lukawatu is back after being dropped game 2, and he's back on the bench. Blake Brayley is on the bench as well for the Blues. Ethan Strange and Tolu Kola. Queensland Maroons. Callum Ponga, Sean Kola, Robert Tua, Hamiso Tabuai Fido, Jojo Fafita, Cameron Munster, Sam Walker, Thomas Flegger, Harry Grant, Tino Fullerson Army, Brendan Nicola, Kurt Capewill, Ruben Cotter. Bench for Queensland Maroons, Max Platt, Patrick Carrigan, Jemai Nanai, Trent Leo, Reece Walsh, and Murray Talangi. So, no changes for Queensland. All right. I see. Yeah, so Tuno's in for Lindsay Collins. Lindsay Collins got a head knock and he failed his HIA, so he's got to be stood down for the 11-day majority period. Fanuiki is out for Queensland as well. Abby Coruscant, Brian To'o, Dylan Lucas, and Katoni Staggs are out. What I don't get is Laurie Daly picks Abby Coruscant, doesn't use him, and then all of a sudden he doesn't get picked for Origin Game 3. That makes no sense. But anyway, yeah, Tony Staggs and Brian To'o have been dropped, and Dylan Lucas as well has been dropped for Liam Martin. All right, who are we going to choose? Of course, we're back in New South Wales over Queensland Maroons. I'm tipping we're going to go with the Blues here over Queensland. All right, let's go into NRL. Super Friday, Panthers and the Rabbitohs. Panthers at home. Dylan Edwards, Thomas Jenkins, Isaac Tongo, Paul Anamoti, Brian To'o, Blaze Talangi, Jack Cogger. Moses Leota, Freddie Lussick, Liam Henry, Scott Sorensen, Luke Garner, Lindsay Smith. Bench for the Panthers is Billy Scott, Kenny Langoin, Billy Phillips, Leon Patina, Jack Cole, and Sione Fana. For the Rabbitohs, okay, Jai Gray, um, Dane Jennings, Latrell Sargent, Jack Wyden is back for the Rabbitohs this round of round 18. No Alex Johnston. He's out for injury, I think. Yeah. And Cam Murray is out in the Origin decider. Okay. Jack Wyden, Edward Cossey, Cody Walker, Ashton Ward, Tafita Totola, Brendan Smith, Keelan Kolomatangi, David Fafita, Tillis Duncan, Lachlan Harpner, bench for the Rabbitohs is Jamie Humphreys, Ern Aiken, Liam Lebenick, John Randall, Matt Duffy, and Jaden Sullivan. So Isaiah in for Origin for the Blues, Nathan Cleary and Liam Martin in for Origin for the Blues, Isaiah Papali is not is out. All right, Super Saturday, Dragons, Tigers, Broncos, and the Sharks. All right, let's have a look at this. All right, Clint Gutherson, Situ 2, Matt Fine, Valentine Holmes, Tyrell Sloan, Daniel Atkinson, Kyle Flanagan, Loco, Pacific Tonga, Damien Cook, Toby Couchman, Dylan Egan, Hamish Stewart, Ryan Couchman. Bench for the Dragons is Jacob Little, Luciano, Leilua, Josh Kerr, Ure Gula, Jacob Halaganu, and Lucking King Tonga. Tigers, Dream Buller, River, Makasini, Stafford Toa, Jared Skelton, Jock Maiden, Adam Dewey, Terrell May, Abby Coruscant, Fernando Paul, Tony Scar, Siani Fainu, Alex Twal. Bench for the Tigers is Jazzy Lon, Botiafa, Alex Safer, Latu Fainu, Tavara, and Charlie Murray. So no players out for the Dragons, but Jerome Luai is out and Taylor May is out. He's done his same arm again. It's popped out and he's had issues with that arm and fortunately he's redid that injury. Now what I don't get is I don't get how Kyle Flanagan keeps his spot. Look, Kyle Flanagan, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, all right? He's a great player for the he's been a great player, outstanding, but I don't think he deserves to get picked. In my opinion, I reckon the Dragons should drop Kyle because Kyle Flanagan needs some time in reserve grade in New South Wales Cup. He just needs some time in reserve grade. The Dragons should definitely, since Cade Reed's still injured and Kyle Flanagan not playing his best, I reckon the Dragons should put Kyle Flanagan and drop him because Kyle Flanagan, like I said, he needs some time in reserves. I reckon the Dragons should get Joseph O'Neill in at halfback to partner Daniel Atkinson. I reckon Joseph O'Neill is the perfect man for the Dragons against the Tigers. I reckon because Joseph O'Neill, he's been an amazing player for the Bulldogs. He played really well against the Panthers in the New South Wales Cup. The Dragons got the win 34-8 over the Panthers in the New South Wales Cup. And Joseph O'Neill got a try. But, I reckon the Dragons should really consider getting Joseph O'Neill as halfback this round and put Kyle in reserves because Kyle. Don't get me wrong. Look, I love Kyle. He's a good player, but he just needs some time in reserves. He just needs some time in reserves. Um. Anyway. Broncos and the Sharks. All right. Hazy Pam, Grant Anderson, Katoni Staggs, Shimasaki, Dane Mariner, Thomas Duffy, Ben Hunt, Vanasemu, Corey Picks, Preston Ricky, Brendan Pickua, Jordan Ricky, Xavier Wilson. Bench with the Broncos is Blake Moser, Ben Tolty, Jaden Hunt, Jesse Arthurs, Josh Rogers, and Luke Gale. Sharks. Liam Kennedy, Sione Katoa, Jesse Ramian, Carl Iro, Ronaldo Molitalo, Brendan Trindle, Nico Hines, Thomas Hazelton, Jaden Burrell, Jesse, Billy Burns, Ted Wilton, Cam McInnes. Bench for the Sharks is Homer Paru, Origin Kofusi, Talakai, Taku, um, Hoatai, and Harrison Hansen. All right. Super Sunday. Manly, Parramatta, Dolphins, and the Knights. Let's go and have a look. All right. Isaiah Longy, Brian Kelly, Jordan Serrani, Sean Russell, Josh Adakar, Ronald Vockman, Jonah Peasant, um, Luca Marati, Talon De Silva, Jack Williams, Kama Talangi, Katoni Katonga, Jack DeBellin. Bench of the Eels is Dylan Walker, Sam Tavani, Taken Brown, Harrison Edwards, Josiah Papali'i, and Charlie Geimer. The Seagulls looking strong. Tom Trbojevic, Jason Saab, Clayton, Ruben Garrick, Lee Haparate, uh, Abarati, Joey Walsh, Jamal Fogarty, Tala Pasika, Jake Simkin, Kobe Harrington, Corey Waddell, Ben Trbojevic, and Jack Trbojevic. Bench of the Manly is Josh Freddie, Nathan Brown, Ethan Billamore, Simon Lafana, Aaron Sharp, and Zadis. Um, Now, huge blow for Manly. Um, Luke Brooks got injured and he went for scans, and apparently he has done his ACL, which has ruled him out for the rest of the season. So now Joey Walsh steps in at 5'8" to partner Jamal Fogarty. All right, so Olagalu, um, Homer Rukawatu, Luke Brooks, and Tolu Kolo's out. And Mitchell Moses is out for the Eels. All right, last game, a Super Sunday, Dolphins and the Knights. Um, Fletcher Sharp, Dominic Young, Dane Gagai, Fletcher Hunt, Greg Marju, Sandon Smith, Dylan Brown, Jacob Safidi, Phoenix Crossland, Trey Mooney, Dylan Lucas, Jermaine McEwen, Matt Croker. Bench of the Knights is Harrison Graham, Tyson Vizell, Cody Hopwood, Thomas Kent, Lachlan Koch, Francis. Okay. Dolphins, Trey Fuller, Jermaine Asako, Jake Olivero, Herbie Farmworth, Tavita Nafau, Cody Nikamurima, Bradley Snyder, Felice Kafusi, Jeremy Marshall King, Francis Molo, Kamala Fanuiki. Fanuiki didn't get picked for Queensland. Morgan Nolly's bench with the Dolphins is Kurt Dogohue, Tom Gilbert, Ray Stone, Brian, Sebastian Sewer, and John. Um, All right, so outs. Braden Best and Callum Pong are out for the Knights. Hemiso Tabarai Fido, Isaiah Katoa, Jack Bostock, Max Plath, Sean Cobbo, and Thomas Flegger are out. Isaiah Katoa is injured, so he could be spending some weeks on the sideline. But Hemiso, Jack, Max Owen, and Thomas are all in the Queensland side. And the Roosters, Titans, Bulldogs, Cowboys, Raiders, Storm, and Warriors have the bye. All right. Who we're picking here between the Rabbitohs and the Panthers? Oh, far out. This is tough, but for this one, I think I'm going to tip. I tipped Panthers last round. They let me down and the round before. But I have a good feeling that the Panthers might win. So with this one, I'm going to tip the Panthers here over the Rabbitohs. Okay. No, sorry. I changed my mind. I'm going to tip the Rabbitohs here. The Rabbitohs have been really playing really good, and I think they might have a chance against the Panthers. So with this one, I'm tipping the Rabbitohs here over the Panthers. Hope I'm doing the right thing. All right. Dragons and Tigers. Oh, this is going to be tough. It's going to be a good game, but with this one, I think I'm going to go with my team. I'm going with the Dragons here over the West Tigers. All right, Broncos and Sharks. Yeah, straight to it. I'm going with the Sharks here over the Broncos. Look, even if I did want to pick the Broncos, they're playing absolutely crap. They're not playing really well. And Shimasaki is just going to walk out soon. He'll be leaving Broncos. And Josiah Kapani is stood down. Legal reasons. So with this one, I'm going with the Cronulla Sharks here over the Broncos. All right, Manly and Para. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. But for this one, I'm tipping back in Manly here over Parramatta. Knights and Dolphins. It's going to be interesting, but for this one, I'm back in the Knights here over the Dolphins. And the Roosters, Titans, Bulldogs, Cowboys, Raiders, Storm, Warriors have the bye. All right, chat. That's going to do it for this podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, TI King 210, and please subscribe to our podcast YouTube channel, TI King 210 NRL Podcast. Peace out. See you on the next one. Peace and yeet.